Thank you so much for letting me be here today. When I got the call and I was asked to give a speech, I was extremely honored. And it's different from speaking, in front of a TV or as a host or giving interviews for newspapers or magazines, because then I ask you questions and then you just answer. But here it's completely different, and it's actually the first time that I'm giving the speech, so excuse me if I'm a little nervous. And when I started to writing this speech, I remembered that, I was thinking, I had so much in my mind, and I really wanted to mention this, and I shouldn't forget to mention that, and it was just like some chaos in my mind, because I wanted the speech to be a speech which people will remember. So I started watching speeches on YouTube of people we all know, people who inspire me, people who influenced me to act or think in a certain way. And then I realized that in order for people to actually remember what I'm saying, I need to make them feel that whatever I say, I truly mean it. And so I decided that this speech will be one which really, truly comes from the bottom of my heart. So let me take you back a few months ago and tell you why I'm here today. About 10 months ago, I qualified for the finals of the Miss Germany beauty pageant. And for me, it was one of the greatest, yet most challenging times of my life. Because when I applied to the beauty pageant, I was doing my 3rd year of my bachelor degree in Israel. And when I applied, it didn't take long for everyone to find out that I was the first Jewish woman who has ever been part of a beauty pageant in Germany. And after 48 hours, this news were published all over the world. All of a sudden, I saw myself in news headlines in China, in America, all over Israel, even in Arabic countries. And I was so proud of it because, when you read an Arabic newspaper talking about a German Jewish girl, I felt extremely honored. So I'm beyond thankful and lucky to have had this opportunity to represent both of my countries, Germany and Israel, and moreover, to represent my Jewish German identity with all over the world. Fast. Really fast, I understood that a girl's dream grew into a woman with a mission to get people to talk and listen to each other, a mission to leave a mark in the world, and that you don't do anything for yourself, but you do it for everyone else. And many people believe that they don't have what it takes to make a difference in the world. I used to hear, you're too young to make a difference, or what do you know about making a difference in the world? Who does you think she is? Yeah, I heard all of some kind of, yeah. And today I'm standing here as a 22-year-old and telling you that every one of us has the ability to contribute something to the world in his own unique way. And it doesn't have to be anything big. It just needs to be something with the intention of doing good. And who would have thought that a beauty pageant would be the place I could do so? But this is just to prove that no matter where or when you start, as long as you do, you're fine. So when I say making a difference in the world, for most of the people it seems like a cliche, like making a difference in the world. What does it even mean? But in my case, when I think about myself, it was such a small step in the right direction, which ended up being the biggest step in my life. So when I applied to this competition, I saw a great opportunity to have a platform to be able to speak my own mind, to be able to share with people what I believe, what my opinion is, and this small step basically led me to be here with 185,000 votes, thanks to you guys, crowning me as the first Miss Internet, the first Jewish Miss Germany in history. But I didn't came here today to talk about myself. I came here to talk about the things that I've learned in the past few months, about the experiences I've made that I would love to share with people my age. I came here to remind the youth generation how powerful we are and that we are the leading voice to our future. To remind you that it's not what you do what's important, it's how you do it. That it's not what you see in life which makes it different, it's how you look at things, which basically means everything. I came here to express the love I have for two countries, Germany and Israel, to show people how much you can love one's home, and giving people my age something to think about. Actually, 3 things I wish you carry and remind yourself as often as you can. So first, use your knowledge and experience to serve the world. One out of many things I've learned in the pageant was to be able to answer the question of who I really am and how I want to represent myself. Before I came with many different answers, but I was never quite sure of them. I felt insecure every time I answered. I'm a TV host, I'm a student, I'm this, I'm that, but I didn't realize that they were looking for a bigger question, like they were looking for something special, something that defines me, something that is unique. So, I am a German Jew. Now, when people first hear a German Jew, I didn't think that it was something so unusual, because for me, it's something so normal. And then during the pageant, there were finalists asking me questions like, how do you live as a German Jew in Germany? Or isn't it dangerous to live in Israel? Or do you speak Hebrew? Can you tell us a few sentences? So they were asking me a lot of questions, and there was a part when people even asked me or told me that they didn't know that there are still Jews living in Germany. So with all these mixed feelings and questions, I was shocked, sad, and happy to be able to answer it. And this is where I saw an opportunity to exchange some opinions with the girl and tell them all about my perspectives and opinion when it comes to Israel and living in Germany. Not all of the things that I explained were good, but it doesn't mean it's necessarily bad. It means that each country has something different from another. Different mentalities, different history, different people. And I don't think you can really compare these people. But what I really did or tried to do is giving them the feeling to come to Israel and to have their own opinion. You know, I'm far away from being a politician, and I'm sure that there are a lot of people who know much more about these topics than I do. But what I'm trying to say is that you don't necessarily need a certain kind of authority to get across your perspective. I'm grateful that I got to live in both of the countries, Germany and Israel, to talk about the everyday life experiences that people make. And my role became to share these experiences with people who had trouble believing anything good related to Judaism or Israel. And what I'm trying to do is not changing people's opinion. I don't know if I could do so, but I'm trying to make people listen to what I'm saying and to ask me questions that I'm really willing to answer. And this is valuable knowledge that I can pass on. Second, don't let anyone tell you that you cannot do it. I'm sure that most people my age have heard about this phrase before. And I guarantee you that this phrase actually helps me throughout the day. And I try to remind myself every day that I shouldn't let anyone tell me that I can't do it. During the pageant, I was told and asked, "Are you sure that this is actually the right thing to do?" Like mentioning that you were Jewish. Some said it would be a certain loss, and the others said that it will even prevent me from winning the crown. But because there were people who said that, I even had the drive to mention it even more. All of a sudden, I was so proud. Like, of course, I was proud before, but I knew that I just love sharing who I am with people who believe in me. So during the final, I was standing on stage, and I opened the show saying, "Good evening, Germany, Erev Tov, Israel," which means good evening, Israel in Hebrew. Now imagine standing on stage in front of 1,000 people, and you have this one moment where you can just say whatever you feel, and this was basically came into my mind. And you know what people did? People cheered up, people clapped, and they stood up. So I knew that no matter what will happen this night, I definitely did my job, and it was, for me, this was much more of a win than any crown in the world. And I learned that winners are not the people who always win or never fail, but people who never quit. And the biggest winners in life are givers and not only getters. The third thing, celebrate your accomplishments. You know, every achievement, regardless of its size, deserves a reward. And moreover, it deserves to be shared. When you verbalize your wins, you're reinforcing them, which means you're motivating yourself to continue doing that. Think about everything we have achieved in the past few years as Jewish people living in Germany. We have built such big communities. We have schools where Jewish and non-Jewish students learn together. We have sport clubs where Jews and non-Jews are playing together. So even though we have built so much, you should remind yourself that we already did so much, so why just talk about what is still missing? So even though we are pursuing our future goal, we shouldn't forget to acknowledge the present moment. These moments determine our future, so we should fill them with little wins and excitements. Excitements like friendships of two people who have been in the same contest and have a total different experiences, but that was the main reason that brought us together. Sarah, who is already here, who is also here today, and the winner of Miss Iraq. I'm so happy that we both are here today to come and celebrate our accomplishments of friendship with every person in this room. As we work towards achieving our goals, always remember to acknowledge how far we have come. So I'm taking this chance to celebrate each small success, because our little wins add up to the big ones. And look where I'm standing today. And just to end my speech with the last few sentences and to keep in mind, I can only speak from my generation. So today, we live in a world where everyone wants to be known, where everyone wants to be famous. And we admire those people who are famous because we think being known gives us value. But I believe that there will come a time where this just all will fade away. And when we look up to those people, we somehow start ranking them for being better or less good as we are, because they have more public power. And then we lose ourselves when we try to become like someone else we are not. I like people who have a sense of individuality. I love expression and anything perfect because that's natural and that's real. I just wish my generation to know that we are the ones who make the future look better. But before that, each of them should find their path and know that they make their own choices in life. You choose your own direction, and you determine your steps. Think of your qualities and your intentions. See yourself as the person you want to be without thinking about your status, your score, or your ability. No one and nothing should affect who you are as a person. As a winner of a beauty pageant, I want to define what beauty means to me. Beauty is the way you hold yourself. It is how you treat people, it's self-acceptance, and it's the way you love yourself and others. It's appreciating what you have in life and being thankful for it. I wish that in the future, from now on, we will make this world a beautiful place where everyone will find themselves as the person they always wanted to be. I believe in a bigger, brighter, colorful future, and I believe in the youth and their will to design us as such. So thank you
very much
for having me today. Dankeschön.